When was the last time you looked at your plants and said, thank you?
Thank you.
Wildlife in our garden is evident of a healthy and successful garden. Well, in my books it is. Not only is wildlife beneficial to the environment and garden, but being close to nature also has its health benefits for us. Having birds chirping away is so relaxing, it's almost good for the soul, and for me, promotes feelings of well-being. But did you know that there's a new gardening practice doing the rounds, and it bears the rather unapologetic and graphic title of rewilding? Essentially, it's about the restoration of nature back in selected spaces. What this means is that we let nature run back to the wild. The very thought of this may make most of us cringe in horror, but rewilding is not necessarily about abandoning the whole garden, but rather allowing sections of our garden to run wild and invite nature back into our spaces. Learning to let go takes time, self-control, prudence, and space. If we can create and protect areas where rewilding can take place, both wildlife and mankind will benefit. It works in nature and will work in your garden. And the more we think about it, the more we'll see the benefits of this approach. Let nature take its course to create a more attractive environment for all things wild. Wildlife will thank you for just a small corner, border, or a planter in your garden. Plants like the Melansian's favorite, Salvia Wendy's Wish, Salvia Mystic Spires, Salvia Love and Wishes, and Dilosperma. Or So Bee favorites and water-saving mix from Stark S. The birds and the bees will be happy with their prolific blooms. So if the idea of rewilding is not for you, there are also other ways to invite nature into our gardens. Planting pollinator-friendly plants with flowers that encourage the pollinating wildlife to visit our gardens. Plants like rocket. And if you've ever planted rocket or wild rocket, you will know that these flowers are always buzzing with bees. So no pollinator garden should be without this useful, pretty, and delicious herb. You can't have a pollinator garden without borage, which apparently fills its flowers with nectar every few seconds. They are a bee magnet. The flat-shaped blooms with open centers are a firm favorite with bees. Now, sowing Starcare seeds of Osteospermum or African daisies, alyssum, and zinnias not only adds colors to your garden, but will also keep the bees and butterflies happy too. Then, adding water to your garden is one of the easiest ways to invite wildlife. Ponds provide a source of drinking water, a spot to clean and cool down, and even be a breeding spot for frogs. Having a supply of fresh water is just as important to birds as being fed, especially during the cooler, dry months, and really is as easy as adding a bird bath to your garden. Not only is it a lovely feature in the garden, but watching our feathered friends drink and splash around is sure to bring you joy. Then there are trees. Trees provide food and shelter for a whole range of animals. Insects and birds make their homes inside trees and is also a perfect place to hang a bird feeder that will encourage feathered friends to feed safely and stay close to our gardens. And then, once we've helped create the right conditions for wildlife, we can step back and let nature manage itself. So no matter how big or small your space is, be it just a small corner in your garden or a couple of window boxes, hanging baskets, or even pots, choose to plant plants that invite nature back into your garden. Plants that we are grateful for both their beauty and for enticing nature. Visit your nearest Plantland or visit plantland.co.za for all the plants and Starcare's products I have used, and where you can also grab the latest copy of The Gardener or Detainee magazines packed full of practical and inspirational gardening advice just for you. Like, subscribe, and follow for exciting Thanks Plants competitions, giveaways, and more Thanks Plants gardening content.
Get your copy of the September issue of The Gardener or Detainir magazine to find all the clues you'll need to enter the competition. We at Starkes, Plantland, The Gardener and Detainir say thanks, plants.